Hello and welcome back to Broken Arrow Basics, where I use the powerful scenario editor to show you some of the basics of the game that might not be clear or readily understood. Today we're going to talk about machine guns, how they work, what they affect, and panic and how that relates to machine guns, and then how to engage tanks with machine guns, which is all of them. So let's get straight into it. We'll start the demonstration. So here I have my demonstrator M1A2 Abrams tanks, which feature the M2 Browning as its primary heavy machine gun. And what we're going to do is we're just going to engage these hovercraft with machine gun only, just to demonstrate what machine guns can do. So here, you'll notice that all the hovercraft are panicking at roughly the same time. The last one will also panic in a second. And as you can see, panic is happening at basically the same time. So the distance doesn't matter for the panicking effect of the machine gun. If you're being fired at, then your unit is taking morale damage just as heavily as if the tank was right next to you, right next door to you. So you need to engage quickly with units that panic, because as soon as the machine gun is firing, that unit is taking morale damage. However, you will notice with the machine guns that the damage that they physically do is much greater with distance, and it scales. So here you'll see that the very furthest one is the very least damaged, slightly more damaged, and heavily damaged. So all machine guns, when shooting at anything with any reasonable amount of armor, will do more damage the closer you get. Okay, so how can we take that learning and turn it into something useful? Well, let's move into the second part of the demonstration. So what we've learned is that we want the machine gun shooting at us for as little time as possible, because as soon as the clock starts, we're taking very efficient morale damage. But we don't want to get close to the machine gun, because the closer we get to the machine gun, the more damage we take. So the ideal thing to do is to just be as close to the tank as you need to be to fire your anti-tank weapon, and no closer. I just made a quick mistake there, so I'll just undo that very quickly. So here I have 3 of the cheapest infantry that the US can offer. These are mechanized riflemen. They are 50 points each. They are nothing special. And then in the center we have the T-Armata T-14 with all the trimmings. This is the most expensive tank that the Russians get. Very powerful, APS, smoke, and all that good stuff. So here I've already set up these guys to be in optimal position. The optimal position being just almost close enough to use their light anti-tank weapons. Now we're going to sprint in and see what happens. You'll see here that the AI will desperately try and rotate this tank to save it. Boom, gone. Destroyed in seconds. So you'll note here that this unit actually lost half its health, and this was at the absolute furthest away that it could possibly be. So taking our hovercraft demonstration into account, this unit would probably have died if it was here, because machine guns do a lot more damage up close than they do at 450 meters, where they're sort of doing roughly half depending on the stats of the unit. There are factors that go into it, but this unit probably would have died. And also, these 50-point units are basically as inexpensive as it gets, and we took out a 400-point, well, 390-point unit pretty much immediately. Now, this result can be reproduced with more expensive infantry and less of them. So I'm just going to demonstrate that quickly now. let's go ahead and remove the rifleman. And instead we're going to use 2 Marines. These are just ordinary Marines. They've got the same light anti-tank weapon as the mechanized infantry does at half the price, but they are a much, much better unit. There are 90 points or 95 points each. These are roughly half the price of the tank.
Double dogs here.
The AI is going to rotate to try and save itself. And it's gone. Here you can see the Marines took a great deal less damage because they're Marines. They are a better unit. But our 390 point tank didn't make it. And that's it. So, the conclusion is keep your distance from machine guns as much as possible. You want to engage with your anti-tank weapons as close to their maximum theoretical range as possible, and you want to expose yourself to machine gun fire for as little time as possible, because at any distance, be it miles away or up close, that panic slowly ticks up. So keep your engagements short and sweet, and tanks can be eliminated before they even get a chance to fire off their smoke or for their active protection to stop more than one missile. Hope you find this informative, and I'll see you in the next one.